Grimm. I work for Grimm Audio together with my colleagues. Guido Tent is my partner in the company. And the company is based in the Netherlands. We are based in the city of Eindhoven, which is maybe known from the Philips brand. This is the introduction of the brand to Hong Kong hi-fi market. We are both active in hi-fi and in professional audio world, and our distributor Kent Poon is taking care of both. When we started the company, it was soon very obvious that jitter is a very important detail in audio, in digital audio, when you want to make the sound more transparent. And so the jitter was one of the first things we looked after when we developed our first products. And we had to develop our own measurement equipment to do it, because the measurement equipment at the time that you could find for measuring jitter was extremely expensive. And we were able to borrow one device, but then we developed our own jitter analyzer so we could use it every day. And using that device, we were able to develop an oscillator that has extremely low jitter. And we still use it in the production, so every single unit that we deliver is first measured and analyzed, and if the jitter is not according to our specifications, we will replace the internal clock circuitry, the crystal oscillator, etc., with another one. Actually, almost all digital equipment can slave to an external source. And with AES-EBU or SPDIF, the audio data and the clock data are together in the same signal. With a word clock signal, it's only the clock signal. But with AES-EBU and SPDIF, the clock and the audio are in the same signal. So if you have, for instance, a DAC, it slaves to the audio that comes into it through SPDIF, and it derives the clock from that. But the clock in the SPDIF signal can be jittery. Now, by introducing the CC1 in between your source and the DAC, the CC1 will also slave to your source, but it has a very high quality PLL, a phase locked loop, and our oscillator is part of that PLL, and it can remove the jitter from that source signal and then transfer the audio data transparent but with a much lower jitter clock. And if you then slave your DAC to the CC1, the sound quality will be much better because you have the same audio data but with a lower jitter clock. And the UC1 is our universal converter or USB converter, and it also has the same circuitry. It also has a word clock output and input just like the CC1, but it also has a USB to analog or digital converter, and also digital inputs and analog inputs that you can convert to a USB computer system, for instance. The Mu1 is still a prototype here at this show. It's planned to be introduced at the end of this year, and like the UC1 is meant as the central piece of a music studio, the Mu1 is meant as the central piece in your living room. So it's a music server. It plays from internal discs, it plays all types of files, but you can also play from a NAS. You can also stream from the internet, Tidal for instance, or maybe Spotify. There's even an FM tuner built in. There is digital inputs for CD transport or your digital television output, and you can use it for any type of source, and the whole family is able to enjoy this music. Yeah, the concept behind the LS1 is to integrate as many steps as possible from the signal chain. We intend with Grimm Audio to build a full signal chain all the way from the recording studio microphone to the loudspeaker at home, and all these different steps we like to integrate them as much as possible, because then we have more control over everything that's happening there. And by integrating in the LS1 the converters, the amplifiers, the crossover filters and the drivers, and taking care of the acoustics of the cabinet, we are able to have much more control over the sound. You have to be careful when you integrate and use all the powerful tools like DSP that you don't overlook the emotional transparency by focusing only on the technical transparency. They have to be in harmony. So this is the main goal of Grimm Audio, to look after both the technical parts and the emotional parts. So that means we keep on listening. We don't leave adjustments just to a computer. We do everything manually. We are very careful with all the adjustments that the DSP tools give us.